going to be a bit more expedient. Our next speaker really does need no introduction, but I'm going to give her one. Anne Black, who is our other candidate for the CLP section of the National Executive Committee. Anne is a uniquely respected member of the Labour Party, liked on every wing, and was a long-standing member of the NEC, now seeking re-election. I don't think I have to say anything else, Anne. Really looking forward to hearing what you have to say about your plans if re-elected.
Okay, well, thank you very much for inviting me, and I hope that next year we can be together again in Brighton. I was asked to talk about how the NEC could help Labour win again. Now, I've been away for 2 years. I know the media will only ever report splits and rows, and I know from Alice Perry's brilliant local government reports that really good work is being done behind the scenes. But the NEC has to look outwards and focus relentlessly on winning in 2021 and every year through to the next general election. Now, I don't mean winning for the sake of winning. I mean winning for a purpose. Take an example. Some of our members worry about whether Labour might ditch the target of net zero carbon by 2030. Now, there is no more important issue than the future of the planet. But unless Labour gets a share of power at the next general election, it will be 2030 before we can do anything about it. And the same goes for all the wonderful policies, the vision that Joe has just spoken about. And winning the argument is not enough. The next few months will see millions of people lose their jobs, mass evictions of private tenants, waiting lists going up for everything except COVID-19, new outbreaks in care homes, women, BAME and working class people still hit hardest. And I have no doubt that the Tories will blame the effects of Brexit on the virus as well, rather than their gift for making enemies around the world and reneging on international laws which they themselves drew up and signed. So in opposition, Labour can expose Boris Johnson's incompetence and heartlessness, and our MPs are doing that every single day, but do very little more for those who need us. Labour councils, our public services are doing heroic work, but they're starved of cash. So we also have to use this time to develop post-COVID policies for health, social care, housing, jobs, schools, local government, trade union rights, the environment, the economy, through to the next election, and convince voters to trust us again. The NEC has members from every part of the movement, and every nation and region, and can give the leadership the intelligence that they need. Now, loyalty to the leader is not negotiable. It was wrong for members, including MPs, to undermine Jeremy Corbyn, and it is wrong to undermine Keir Starmer now. That does not mean sycophancy. It does mean not tweeting resign every time I happen to disagree with him. But CLP representatives have a particular responsibility to connect 500,000 members with the party's ruling body and with its front bench. I'm not suggesting another democracy review. I am in favour of more democracy, just as long as it doesn't mean only more meetings. But that relationship with people on the ground needs rebuilding. Members do want to influence policy. The 2017 and 29 manifestos were written centrally and in haste, and there are no policy votes at this conference either. The National Policy Forum is still a mystery to most, and the promised review seems to have been long grasped again. Most members do not have a Labour MP. Many don't have Labour councillors, and they feel that they have no voice. There is little good about coronavirus, but moving online, Labour MPs and NEC members can visit every CLP in the country, and we should. Recently, I've been to Scotland, Cornwall, Chesterfield, and round the world with Labour International, and I've listened to many people that a year ago I would never have met. Now, members cannot sell policies where there is no sense of ownership or engagement. During lockdown, They've been active as street champions, in food banks, in their communities, but local party activity has often seemed to be in spite of, not because of, the National Party. The NEC should start telling members what they can do, not what they can't do. Until it's safe to knock on doors again, we have to campaign by phone, by social media, reaching out any way we can as we approach the elections next year. And if councils, socialist societies and trade unions can meet and do business, why can't branches and CLPs elect officers and make decisions? So the NEC must also let local parties choose their candidates. When the 2019 election was called, not unexpectedly, dozens had candidates imposed by the NEC for the second time in 3 years. This is not okay. Selection processes need to be democratic but manageable, and while no Labour MP has a God-given right to a permanent seat, removing Tory MPs should come first. The NEC must give local parties a bigger share of membership subscriptions. The current system is 10 years old and not fit for purpose. The NEC promised the review in 2018, and if I'm elected, I will make sure that that is delivered so that we can afford to organise and campaign on the ground. The NEC must deal effectively with complaints, including independent processes for sexual harassment, and maybe some other areas as well. Members are still prevented from standing as candidates because their cases are taking years to resolve. Justice delayed is justice denied. But some complaints involve personal or factional antagonism, and no rules can make people be nice to each other. How do we tackle a toxic and polarised culture where active members stay away because they find meetings so unpleasant? So my final suggestion is that the NEC should set an example. Start from the position that everyone has the right to be heard with respect, listen to what they say, and decide on the basis of facts and arguments, not on prepared lines and pre-meeting caucuses. As Germaine said just now, we need to learn again to disagree agreeably. If the NEC itself can model good behaviour, perhaps that will finally help us to bring in the kinder, gentler politics which Jeremy promised us all 5 years ago. Thank you.